Huzzah, and welcome, future and current artists, to another episode of Drawing with Dr. Doodle. Well, before we begin, you're only going to need two items. Hopefully you have these, a piece of paper and a pencil. Now, if you want to color your work in when we're done and you have a crayon or a colored pencil or markers, you can color it in when we finish today. However, if you don't have those supplies right now, you can always wait to color your work in when you get those supplies. So you know what? Let's begin. Hello. Today we will be playing the line and shape game. How do you play this game? It's very simple. You or somebody else will draw a line or multiple lines or a shape, and from those lines or shape, you now need to be creative and come up with a drawing, using those lines and shapes to form your drawing. So right here, I saw in these weird curvy lines a nose, the beginnings of a nose, and so I began to draw a face. And as you can see, I am making some corrections here and there. I'm using my iPad Pro, and that's how you're able to see each of my lines, and I'm able to make corrections without having to erase with a regular eraser. Anyway, getting back to the drawing, as you can see, I'm drawing the head, and now that I've finished, here this purple line reminded me almost like a jacket kind of flipped up. So that's why I began drawing this head with an ear. Yes, I know it's another head, but it's also a little bit of a body, and it's up to you. Be creative. You don't need to draw the same orientation. You can rotate your paper or whatever you're drawing on until you see or envision what it is that you want to draw. And that's what's fun, is that you can do this by yourself, you can do this with other people, and you can alternate. If you're doing it with multiple people, one person could draw the line, the starting line or shape, and somebody else can try to draw from that. So as you can see, I finished with that drawing. Here I have this weird kind of bunny or star shape, and that's why I began making this cartoony, weird bunny star kind of cartoon creature. So I drew the hands, and I'm drawing the eyes. One will be shut, one will be open, winking, and I think it's pretty cute. You'll see how it turns out in a little bit. But you might have not seen this, the same thing that I'm drawing here. If you had the same shape, you might have wanted to rotate the paper until you saw something, until you were inspired or motivated to make your own thing. I like participating and drawing this way because it kind of pushes me when I'm not motivated normally to draw or create anything, and it's a quick drawing. It's not really... By doing this kind of game, you're allowing yourself to have the freedom of creativity. So here, this line, I just didn't, it was too complex. I wanted to do something a little simple. So here's a letter V that I turned into two mountains and a river, and there's snow-capped peaks with clouds and the sun. It could even be the moon. And if you are inspired by what you've actually drawn at the end, from the lines or shapes, the final drawing, you can start coloring it in, or you don't need to. This could just be an exercise, a way to practice your drawing skills. But as we're about to finish this one up, why don't we take a puzzle break? As an artist, it's a good idea to take a break from your work. Taking a break allows us to look at our work with fresh eyes and possibly with some new ideas. So that's why we're going to take a puzzle break. And what type of puzzles are we going to do on Drawing with Dr. Doodle? Well, we're going to tackle puzzles that I love to do. They're called rebus puzzles. Rebus is spelled R-E-B-U-S. And what is a rebus puzzle? Well, I'm glad you asked. Behind me is an example of just one, and we're going to walk through the solution to this puzzle right now. So what word do you see behind me? Well, take your time. If you guessed the word behind me is hurry, then you're half right. What direction is the word hurry going in? Well, take some more time to solve that. Well, if you guess that the word hurry is going up, then you have half of the solution as well. So let's combine the two half answers or half solutions that we solved together. Hurry, so we've got the word hurry, and the word hurry is going up. And if you heard me just say that and it clicked in your head that the answer is hurry up, then you have solved this rebus. So with that out of the way, why don't you try to solve this puzzle by yourself, but you don't need to hurry up to solve this puzzle. Take your time, and if you get your parents' permission, you can email the solution to thedoodledoctor@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the lesson. Now that we're back to the lesson at hand, we're going to be continuing the line or shape game, but with this time around, now that we're done with our puzzle, we are going to be taking one line or shape and we're going to draw multiple different types of drawings around the same type of line. So we've got this letter V with a wavy line on top, and just like I started with the first line game drawing, I am making a head. I see this head, and it looks kind of like a head popping maybe out of water. The person's swimming. So that's why I started to add the waves, and I even add a hand popping out of the water like they're, doing the doggy paddle maybe. But with this line game right here, we're using the same brown V and wavy line on top, and now it's not a head. I wanted to make something else, so this time it's an ice cream cone that's kind of leaking out of the side. So I'm going to draw the person holding the cone, and they're shocked or upset, and they're trying to get as much of the ice cream as they can before the ice cream melts out of the side. So again, it doesn't need to be exactly what you're seeing here. That's the fun of this game, and what allows you to practice your drawing skills is to taking whatever shapes that you have, either you draw yourself or somebody else draws for you, and turning them into something just by using your imagination is really good practice. So here I'm adding more details, and that's the thing too with the drawing, with this line game, shape game. You can add as much or as little details as you want. And so here I have a little bit of fun. For some reason I saw a horse leg, like it was galloping, and so that's what I do right here. It's a very gangly, very thin horse that's running, and I don't add too much details, just enough that you know that it's a horse, because even though I had a lot of fun creating this horse, I didn't get inspired to add more details than just the basic details, and that's okay. Again, this is a fun game where you get to practice your drawing skills and your creativity. So here we've got the horse. I'm going to add a little bit of a swoop in the hair, the eye, the mouth, and that was it. So now I'm trying to be a little bit different, and here we've got a hand, and it's not holding up, but it's trying to grab this leaf. And from there I got inspired to not just have it be a leaf and a hand, but I'm going to have two hands and the person's head as they look up and try to catch this giant leaf. And if I wanted to, I could have added more details, and you can too. And that's what's fun about the line game. Line and shape game is that it's however long, it's however detailed, it's however simple. It's all up to you. You decide how much time, how much energy, how much detail you want in your drawings. And it could inspire you to create your own artwork later on, or it could just help you to practice drawing from your imagination. Now it's time for me, Harold, the extremely talented art critic, to critique your artwork. Wait, what? Don't worry, I didn't agree to this. I won't be too harsh. Why, thank you. What?
Okay,
wait.
Fellow art detectives, let's get critiquing. What do you see?
What do you think is happening in this artwork? What materials do you think the artist used to make this artwork? Does this remind you of anything? What questions do you have about the artwork? Pretend you can enter into the artwork. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? What piece of the artwork is your favorite and why? If you could change one thing about this artwork, what would you change? How does this artwork make you feel? Can you explain why? If you had to describe this artwork to a friend, what kind of words would you use? So, Dr. D, was that so hard now?
It wasn't hard at all, Harold. Thank you.
Is how hard I will critique him next time. Until next time, future and current artists, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed creating art with me and that I've inspired you to create as imaginative artwork in the future. If you'd like to have your work displayed on a future episode, obviously you need your parents' permission, but once you get it, you can email your artwork at thedoodledoctor@gmail.com. Well, bye!